Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So they're saying, yeah, وإن كان البئر معينة بحيث لا يمكن نزحها أخرج مقدار ما كان فيها من الماء. What they're saying, they're saying, yes, see, we discussed here, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasul Kareem. So far, when the well is contaminated, you have to remove the water. We gave you all the details, how much you must remove. Like, certain times you just remove a certain amount, etc., etc. Right now, all of these, I told you, normally a well, it would be like, if you remove the water overnight out, by the next morning, the well will be full because the water seeps through. Similar to how you got veins in your body, you have veins in the rock, etc. So there you can remove the water, you can remove all the water, and by tomorrow you come back, the place will be full again. But sometimes, if a well is built upon a spring. So as you draw the water, more water come out. So those scenarios where it says you must remove all the water, like here, but in like okay, the scenarios where you must just remove 20 buckets, that doesn't affect you because you remove your 20 buckets, you remove your 30 buckets, you sorted, right? You sorted. But the problem is where it says you must remove all the water like this here, where it says this one which says if a person died in there, what's the other one? Uh yeah, where is it? Uh, a big animal, a human being died in it, whatever. Yeah, when Matria shot out but no Kalmun, there's a one scenario where you must remove all, and the other scenario is um where the whatever big or small animal if the body blew up, then we said there's a sign out that more najasa has come out, and we explained about the tanning, or maybe what you said fragmented, what's the right word? It's exploded burst. Yeah, right. It bursts, and as a result of that, right? So you need to remove all the water. But now, as you're removing the water, more water is coming up. They're saying, وإن كان البئر وإن كان البئر معينة بحيث لا يمكن نزحها. You can't remove all. They say أخرجوا مقدار ما كان في الماء. So you must, how much water there is in there? 1,000 liters, 2,000 liters, 3,000 liters, 4,000 liters, you remove that much. What you must do? But now the question is, how do you know how much water is in there? Now, here is quite a bit of explanation. وطريق معرفته. What is the way? The method of recognizing أن تحفر حفرة مثل موضع الماء من البئر ويصب فيها ما ينزع منها إلى أن تمتلئ. To say you dig. That's the most difficult opinion. Another hole, exact same size of that well, exact. The well is 20 meters deep and the diameter is 1 meter. So you dig another hole again there. So as you throw, when this hole comes full, you've removed all the waters in there. You understand what I'm saying? The most difficult one. وطريق معرفة أن تحفر حفرة مثل موضع الماء بالبئر ويصب فيها. So the way of recognizing is that it must be تحفر حفرة. A hole must be dug مثل موضع الماء, like the place of the water من البئر, from the well. ويصب فيها. It will be poured into there. ما ينزح. So ما ينزح is a knife file. What is removed from it إلى أن تمتلئ, until it is full. One explanation. Another explanation is this interesting explanation. They say أو ترسل فيها قصبة وتجعل لمبلغ الماء علامة ثم ينزع منها مثل 10 دلو. What you do is you take a stick, for example, and you put it down and you see, okay, the water reaches the stick at 1 meter, right? Listen nicely. The water reaches the stick. You maybe got a 1 meter stick. So you put a stick down and you mark on your stick it's 1 meter, right? Now you take 20 buckets out. After you take 20 buckets out, you put the stick again. And you see now the stick is going deeper to reach the level of the 1.5 meters. So now you know obviously that for every 500, it's 20 buckets. So every time I take out 20 buckets, I'll be removing a half a meter of water, right? So like that, you work out now. So if I remove 100 buckets, that means I've moved uh, 50 meters. You understand what I'm saying? And your well is 30 meters, and like that, you work it out. Pretty simple, right? See, أو ترسل فيها قصبة. قصبة is like a bamboo stick. You release a bamboo stick into there. وتجعل, it will be made لمبلغ الماء, to reach the surface of the water. علامة is, and you make a mark on the stick, right? ثم ينزح منها مثل 10 دلو or مثل 10 دلائن, and then you remove maybe like 20 buckets. What you got there? Dilain. Okay, let me. I got Dilain. I'll just change it here. Dila in right. ثم تعاد القصبة. Then you put a stick again. فتنظر كم نقص. You see, after 20 minutes, this thing went down by 30 centimeters. فينزح لكل قدر منها 10 دلاع. Then it will be removed. لكل قدر, for every amount of it 10 دلاع. So for every 30 centimeters, now you work out the well is so many meters, it's 10 meters, so it means uh, 30 goes into 1 meter 3 times. So it's 60 meters, so 60 buckets per meter, and so 60 buckets, and we need to it's 10 meters, so we need to remove that 600 buckets, and we'll be sorted. You understood? So وهذه عن أبي يوسف. This is how Imam Yusuf said, this is how you can work it out. وعن محمد نزح 100 دلو إلى 300. Imam Muhammad says, no, don't worry about exact, just remove 100 to about 300. Right? فكأنما بنى قالوا على ما شاهد في بلده. So you're saying here, Imam, you say, if you remove, inshallah, between so mi'ata dalwin, 200 buckets to 300 buckets, then that will be sufficient. So here he's saying, the Sharih is saying, or Sahib is saying, look here, maybe Imam Muhammad in his town where he lived, normally 200 to 300 buckets would empty the well out. Maybe they never make so big wells. So according to his estimation, 200 to 300 buckets was based upon the wells that he had in his area. The wells that he had in his area. So we can't take that because he's speaking about his area. We need to look at our area. What if the wells are bigger? We have to take more. Or what if the wells are smaller? We have to take so much. You understood? So he's saying, فَكَأَنَّهُ as though he بَنَى قَوْلَهُ, he based his statement على ما شاهد upon what he witnessed في بلده, what he witnessed in his town. Right. Then وعن أبي حنيفة رأيت نفر بنيفة في جامع الصغير. And this is from Jami Sahir. Remember, I told you there's 6 books, right? And this is mentioned Zawsir fi mislihi, in such a scenario what we're discussing here, where the well is ma'ina, yunzar hatta yaghlubahumul ma. You will remove until you say, oh, you feel tired. Say, I think we've removed enough now. I think we have covered it sufficiently. So until it overpowers, like you get tired and say, no, I think, you know, like, you know, so there's no fixed thing. And if you look in fiqh, many a times Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah ta'ala, he also, he, what you say, he entrusted the method to the mubtala bihi. Like this masla. He said, no, whoever's afflicted with this, he must remove though. He's tired and in his heart he feels, you know, I've removed sufficient water from this. This is another example. I'll give you another one of this also is this here. But remember with my qalil, my kathir, what Imam Abu Hanifa says, it will be the decision will be entrusted to the mubtala bihi. There's another few of that. I'm sure some ulama have recorded somewhere. So that's also right. So وَلَمْ يَقْدِرِ الْغَلَبَةُ بِشَيْءٍ كَمَا هُوَ دَعْبُهُ. He did not fix it to say so many buckets or so many liters. A lot of times he say, look, you are a responsible person. You must make the call and you must make the decision, right? Right? So ولم يقدر ولم يقدر الغلبة بشيء كما هو دعمه. So الغلبة, why you got غلبة or غلبة? I got غلبة, but it doesn't make sense. What makes it ولم يقدر الغلبة بشيء كما هو دعمه? Right? Right? Huh? You got غلبة, that makes sense. So this guy kitab of mine got a lot of mistakes in there. That's why I always like to check with you. So ولم يقدر الغلبة. He did not fix
قدر
what
يقدر. They've done يقدر
ولم يقدر. You guys got لم يقدر.
in the PDF.
And the PDF, you got لم يقدر here. What you got in your kitab there? You also got the right. Okay, perfect. That makes more sense. Okay. Well, but I think I got lam yaqdir here, but you can just check in the dictionary. But I think more or less have the same meaning. Qaddara yuqaddirun. You got lam yuqaddir, and qadara yaqdiru has the same meaning. But obviously, if you got in that book of Said Bakhtash, I will go any time of the day. We'll go with that one there, right? So yeah, so I got there. What I got lam yaqdiril ghalabatu, which obviously doesn't make sense at all, right? So lam yaqdiril ghalabata, that makes sense. So they say he not fix it with anything come out like how it is habit. So what do you mean by how it is habit? That I gave you a few examples where he just entrusted to the mubtala bihi, right? Then وقيل يؤخذ في هذا بقول رجلين لهما بصارة في أمر ما. It's one opinion is it will be taken in this matter with the opinion of two people that for them too there is basara and insight in the matter of water. I gave you a little translation. I'll give it again. وقيل said يؤخذ, it will be taken, or يفتى في هذا في هذا in this matter بقول رجلين, with the statement of two people that لهما that has بصارة في أمر ما, they have insight. In other words, what he's saying, you get people that are good in estimating water, etc., etc. They can look at the water and they can estimate, no, there's so many liters here. And another masala here comes to my mind is also, remember that we'll do it, inshallah, we'll do in Hajj. If you when you are not in haram, you're not allowed to kill any fauna and flora, and you're not allowed to kill anything of the haram. So there, the masla is certain animals has got a like for it, right? So then you will have to sacrifice like a certain animal equal to a sheep, some will equal to a goat, some will equal to a camel, some to a buffalo. And they also, if there's no like for the animal, certain animals from the domesticated hardy animals, there's no like for it. So then what will you do? You'll give the value. So what is the value of it? There also is mentioned there. You will get to. In fact, it comes in the Quran. What's the verse in the Quran? It comes in the in the seventh para. Let me see if I can get it. I actually read it in Taraweeh, but I already forgot it. What's the verse there? First quarter, in the seventh para, in the first quarter, about 4 pages before the quarter. Come, help me out there.
Is it
What's this
fast
verse?
food?
يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليبلونكم الله بشيء من الصيد تنالوا أيديكم ورماحكم ليعلم الله بالغيب فمن ارتد. What's it? Forgot it already. But anyway, the verse there it speaks about that you will get people that has knowledge and they will. So this is similar masla. And they say, وَهَذَا أَشْبَهُ بِالْفِقْهِ. They say this is interesting. Here, besides teaching the masla, they're teaching a usul here also. That's why we told you that Hidayah is not only a fiqh book. Hidayah is an usul book also. They say this fatwa or this opinion, whatever, that get the opinion of a person who's expert in water. This is more in keeping with fiqh. That's like how you say in English also. Salil mujarram wa la tasal al hakim. Right. Okay, we also got first ahla dhikri, some input there also. That ask the people of knowledge. But there is also a clear verse which say that we must get the value of it from the people of experts. Maybe I'll check it out tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, I told you, وَهَذَا أَشْبَهُ بِالْفِقْهِ. This is more in keeping with fiqh. What is more in keeping with fiqh? Like as the person that posted you on the chat, ask the people who know. You say also, you say, Saril Mujarrab, la tasal hakim. Saril, oh no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Anyway, so you ask the people that have knowledge of it, and they will give you the input. Right. So the interesting thing is this. I told you before, I mentioned to you, sometimes you think, why are we discussing this masla here? Ne? This masla is not relevant. But in between, they come masala that are very, very relevant. And here, inshallah, what we're going to do here now is a classical example of that. Okay, time is up. And then also tomorrow we will be stopping, inshallah, for the holidays. We'll be breaking for the holidays for Eid and for Ramadan. So it's perfect. We'll just finish this tomorrow. So tomorrow's sabak will be interesting also. As I said, there's an interesting masla. If you see on yourself some najasat and you're not sure when that najasat came there, right? So what do you do? How many salah do you repeat, etc., etc.? That will come. Not in Hidayah Sharif, but it's another. In previous time they used to have big, heavy jackets with stuffing in. A person was reading salah many years with a jacket, and he opened the stuffing and he found a dead rat in the jacket. What do we do? This is not in the Hidayah Sharif, but it's mentioned in all the more detailed kutub. What do you repeat? What do you do, etc., etc.? So even the ladies, maybe they saw some. They went to the bathroom, they saw the najasat on their clothes, on their underwear, whatever. But anyway, we will discuss this tomorrow, inshallah. And then so tomorrow will be the last one. So tomorrow is just, inshallah, it is our normal Mishkat Sharif, Hidayah Sharif, and Tafsir. And then, inshallah, will be a small break, inshallah, for everybody. Allah Ta'ala accept. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdi,